Hello, America. This is Eddie Marcus. I'm glad to be here today. Glad that you're here with me. Got a question I want to ask you. You remember the story in the Bible about Moses encountering a burning bush that was referred to as a miracle? It was the miracle that allowed Moses to accept the fact that though he had no really experience about a God superior to Pharaoh or himself, he had heard some information, and now he got an evidence of something happened that he knew he had no ability to do, and no one else had the ability to do, was for a bush to start burning. You can set a bush on fire, but it usually will be consumed. But this bush did not get consumed, and at the same time it was delivering a message to the mind and heart of Moses. Now you've heard that, you might not have believed it, many of you did. But I'd like to ask the question, what would you do? What would you have done if you had walked, or even if you walked today, and you see a patch of ground burning, and you couldn't see it consume it, just sit there and watch it, and it's just still burning? What do you think you would have done if you had been blind, and a man came to you and put some mud in your eye, and you opened, you could see? That might not be true, but it's what I heard. What would you do if a man couldn't speak? Somebody went there and touched his mouth, and he was able to speak, he couldn't hear you, did something to his ear, and he could hear, or if he was dead, somebody said something to him and he woke up and got up. Well, now some of that stuff is believable, some of it is not. But it's all in the scriptures in a book that somebody said was written by God. And that every word, every dot, every cross was absolutely true. I don't believe that. I'm not that big a nut. I live in a world where human beings are. And human beings ain't letting nothing come across that dead that they don't agree with, that they're not going to change. Plain and simple. And I'm not talking about Americans. I said human beings. And so, in so doing that, even in our situation, let's say that nothing was changed, then you just use the same book with the same words. In America, that would give you Catholicism, that would give you Protestantism, that would break that down into Methodist, Baptist, all these different kinds of things, and they always got a reason for being different. And each one of those differences are uniquely theirs and are absolutely required to get into a place that you have never been, but you think you will get there. Heaven. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you can understand some of that, when I was a kid, I did something stupid, and I had something as similar to a burning bush experience that made me sure that God was existing. Made me realize that human beings were just a creation of God. Well, I got a call to preach. I used to be in the pulpit all the time, like Dr. King. And I would give you the message as God has given it to me. I wouldn't be trying to speak to no book, because I'm the kind of guy like this that says if God spoke to anybody in that book, and he's still God, and he's my God, he speaks to me. You can believe the book if you want to. You can disbelieve me if you want to. But I'm believing the Spirit that speaks to me, and it is because of the Spirit that speaks to me that I come and speak to you about that Spirit that speaks to me. And I recognize that that beautiful, wonderful Spirit that speaks to me, that opens a door for you to live as in heaven, is not consistent with that spirit that you're listening to, because the spirit that you're listening to requires that you reject heaven on earth. You say, it doesn't? Yes, it does. But I want to ask you this question, ladies and gentlemen, why? When I was in the pulpit, you come and you ask me to pray for you. You say, pray for me. I need this problem. I got this. I need this. And everything that you asked, it wasn't uniquely yours. It was the same thing that was asked for across the board. Common things. And yes, I went to God, asking God to deliver those things to you. And I got the message that God doesn't play favorites like that. God is the God of every human being on the face of this earth. And as close as he was going to get to doing anything special for you was selecting people in this midst to show us the truth and give us the responsibility of revealing that truth to you. Well, I came out of the pulpit, as Dr. King did. Because the church is not going to change anything, it's just a message. It didn't change anything in the past, never has. Now you can come out of the church and maybe do something and change some things. So I came out of the church to deliver a message to you. God told me to tell you that he's provided everything for you to live here on earth as in heaven, just as he did in heaven above someplace else for the angels. And some of Noah's got him there. started corrupting stuff, so they kicked the noise out. I also heard that they started the same thing in the Garden of Eden. Heavenly, best thing you can ever have. Some old noise got in there and messed that up. So now here we are on earth, supposed to be heavenly. What does that mean, heavenly? That means that everything that you require, need, and desire is yours. Yeah, excuse me. And it's supposed to be done with peace and prosperity, freedom and joy, and your dreams coming true. Never suffering from anything for survival like food, clothing, and shelter, education, and health care. And God's plan to meet all of those beautiful things, heavenly things for you and I and other people all across this globe was to engage each of us with a little special talent that we can engage ourselves in these bodies on this earth at this time in the process of creating all of those goods, all of those services, all of those resources that we as human beings have determined that we just got to have. He showed us how to do that. Yes, my friends. And I came back and I shared that message with you. All you got to do is want it. It's there. Claim it. This system does not allow it, but you would be living then on a different system. In other words, Satan, Lucifer might have been thrown out of heaven. The snake might have been thrown out of God, but this doggone constitution and this darn system of laws would be evicted. And we would be established with a new constitution, a new system. And nobody would be suffering. Nobody would be in pain. No one would have to lie, cheat, steal. No one would be in debt. No one would have any of those things. And I brought that to the American people 36 years ago. I brought that message to you 36 years ago. I traveled all across this country. You act like you couldn't hear it. I committed crimes to get your attention. Go to court. Go check the records out. Still couldn't get your attention. Ran for president of the United States to make sure that that voice that speaks about peace and prosperity and joy for you speaks it for the nation and all across the globe from the position of the White House. I think I got one vote. Well, I know I got one. It was a write-in vote for me because I was so unpopular. Nobody would champion as anything else, and no one would support it. What blows my mind is, ladies and gentlemen, that I brought the message of as in heaven, so on earth, and it was totally rejected. All of the preachers rejected it. All of the sanctified, holy rollers rejected it. All of those who are divine rejected it. All of those who are in politics rejected it. All of those who are caught to end up in a system that supports this current system rejected it. All my family and friends rejected it. Except I had two friends I can state, T.S. Arnese and Simone Addison. Now, there were more people that were involved in this in time. For instance, Up and Out of Poverty. But they were standing for Up and Out of Poverty. They did not embrace anything that what I just got to share with you because they never spoke out for that. Well, and there were other people who said that I had some good things, but like when I was running for president, they would stand with me and as if I had some power by them being with me, but when they go to the polls to vote, they didn't even vote. They don't vote. So I can't say you helped me. And there was another guy named Michael out of New York. And I got to give Michael some credit, but he left. And so from that point on, I've been alone on these streets, walking these streets with my placards on cable access, on the radios, TVs, CDs, DVDs, pamphlets, brochures, and everything. And up until this day right here, after 36 years, you know what? On one YouTube channel, I got 41 subscribers. On another channel, I got 50 subscribers in 30-some years. But now maybe back to 8, 9 years on social media. So I come here today, ladies and gentlemen, after having maybe a week ago being told that I was less than anything. I wasn't a man. I was just a useless tool. That's what I was told about me. Those people that I committed myself. And ladies and gentlemen, I know what I'm talking about. See, the God that sent me to help you taught me. Didn't just send me. He sent me across the world with a plan. Across the country with a plan. And executing that plan, come back, American Christians on the road to hell. American people on the road to hell. Then give you the plan how to fix it. And I bring that to you. And after all of that, 36 years, I didn't let up. The only job I had, I quit everything else, Veterans Administration, working, recruiting at universities. I wanted to do God's work to bring freedom and peace and prosperity and joy and life to you. Yes, that is absolutely true. But you know what? Those people on social media who are down in Donald Trump, they didn't support it. They don't support it now. They're against Trump. But you know what? When I came across the scene, nobody ran to me. I said, you'll all have a job, the kind of job you love. You just won't be working to be working, but a job you love. Nobody said, come on. I said, you can have the kind of house that you want to live in, designed just as you want it. Nobody said, come on. Get the hell out of here. I said, you could drive the kind of car you want to drive. I said, you can work less than 40 hours a week, maybe 2 days a week, and then you can travel all over the world, not just in America. No, get out of here. I said, you never have to worry about health care from the womb to the tomb. They said, get out of here. I said, education unlimited and unrestricted. They said, get out of here. And then Donald Trump comes along and says, he ain't American. They are rapists and robbers and thieves and dopers. And the world went crazy. America went crazy. The whole country's news media, paper, radio, TV, everything. You couldn't turn it off. And now we find out that what is his plan to you? To tell you what you want to hear. And be quiet. It might happen. And if it doesn't, blame someone else. Not concerned about telling you the truth. And you have eaten them up right now. This is 2020. We got another election coming up in a few months. And you know what? You know what the struggle is? Half of the nation want this demon, this lying man back. They want this, what I call a straight up devil, back. You, the American people, half of you want him back. The rest of you, the other half of you, you don't want him back because he's too bad. You're on the same path, but you ain't that bad yet. It'll take another 10 years, maybe 15 years for you to reach that point. But you're on the same path. And no one, as far as I know, will say, I don't want to die to go to heaven. I want to live in heaven right now. And God is my boss, and I'm going to walk according to God, and I'm not going to walk according to any other law that does not agree with God. What? So, from my perspective, I'm glad God is God, because from my perspective, this nation is a bunch of bullshit. Yes, a straight up bullshit. That's what you are. And the evidence, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Now, you might not believe this, but the evidence is not just this nation, but this world. That coronavirus, you will never believe that that was an equalizer. But here's what it was. If you had been listening to the plans of life, the plans of freedom, if you had been walking to the dictates of justice, this virus might have come, no doubt. But I guarantee you, it wouldn't have been whipping our butts. We'd have slapped it out here so fast as a crying shame. But no, we didn't do that. We didn't prepare for it. And so all of the hell that we're going through is on us. Because we lied to ourselves, that's why Donald Trump is president. If we had told the truth, if we had played by the rules, niggers are still niggers and white folks don't give a damn about them. If we had just recognized that and said we're going to do something about them, that we're going to change and made a change and start treating people decent and righteously, I guarantee you, when Trump opened his mouth, we'd have laughed him back to wherever that dungeon he came from. But we didn't do that. Why? Because he found home right here. I saw an article on social media about something that was front page on Ebony magazine, if I'm not mistaken. And Trump said in that article, if it's true, that if he ran for president, he would definitely run as a Republican, because they were the dumbest and stupid and ignorant people he'd ever seen on earth. And so he ran as a Republican, and you know what? They all fallen in line with him. He knew them, didn't he? I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. I don't want to ask you to do nothing for me. I can't trust you. I don't want to even depend on you. I depend on God. Goodbye.